Cheryl, and this is my channel Star Garnet Stitchery, and today I have a video for you that is kind of a mixed bag. I have book stuff, I have previous finishes, I have finishes that are new, I have some Ray Done stuff, I have some Stitchy Kindness, I have whips, I have all the things. So what this channel is about things I like. So if it is something that I like to do, it's going to be on this channel. So that includes cross stitch, quilting, wool applique, reading, and any other fun stuff I think that might be interesting to you. So if you are new here, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you stay and you enjoy content and you subscribe. And for those who are returning, thank you so much for being here. And I would like to say thank you so much for all of the questions and comments I got on my last couple of videos. I really do appreciate it. Like, you know, sometimes you're not sure if people are interested or if they're even watching. So I appreciate people watching my videos and commenting and asking questions because that's fun times. So let's get into today. So I do have some questions. It was on a video from, I think, back in March when I talked about Nashville Needlework Market. And the question was like, basically saying like, why isn't there like a website that has everybody's releases on it? That is a question that I have been asking since I learned about Nashville Needlework Market when I started stitching, like for real. Because I've been stitching for almost as long as I've been married, but I took a very long break in between and I didn't start back up till like 2018. So anyways, tangent. But basically, like, if you're wanting to know who's going to be at a trade show, so like Nashville Needlework Market, Needlework Expo, which is like the virtual trade show that happens usually in the latter part of the year. There's two different ones that have happened. There's Needlework Expo and then Needlework Marketplace. I like Expo better, but that's me. Doesn't matter. Anyways, so the main thing that you want to do in concern to market, if you're wanting to learn who is going to market as a vendor, meaning like designer, dyer, notion maker, whatever you call it, the best place to go is to yarntree.com, which is technically a wholesale website. However, on there, it will have a section for Nashville Needlework Market. And on there, it'll have a list of all the vendors. It'll have and then there will be another list of all buyers, meaning all the people that are going to purchase, right? Because Nashville Needlework Market is a wholesale trade show. So only shops with a resale license can attend. Okay, that's how that works. So, and it's a cash and carry, like you have to physically be there for the most part to get product from that. Anyways, so if you are wanting to know who and what is being like released, my suggestion is probably, I would say, February. This is from experience because I used to do buying for a needlework shop and I was in charge of market. So my experience is, my advice to you is, if you have a needlework store like brick and mortar that it has an online presence through like Instagram and they heavily post, great. You can focus through them. Or you can look on the Yarntree website, go down to the list of vendors that will be, I think they call it exhibitors. And you go there and then you can kind of just click through all of them. Most of them are links to websites. And you can see like Heart and Hand. You click on there and it'll take you to Heart and Hand's website. Or, you know, Rosewood Manor, whatever. Like all those different, every, with a needle and thread, like if she attends. Dirty Annie Southern Style. Like all of them have like a link and they are listed there as a vendor, okay? And what you can do, and it would be my strongest recommendation, would be to follow your favorite designers online through Instagram, or if they have a like newsletter that gets emailed, something like that. I would highly recommend doing that because usually that's where you're going to see what the releases are. However, not all designers, they have an online presence, but it's very small and they don't utilize that function. And they rely on shops to get the word out of what the releases are. Like Plum Street Samplers, she pretty much only posts when she has releases. And then maybe 1 or 2 rando posts that she has on her Instagram, which is fine because then I can see what exactly she's getting, and then I can go to my favorite needlework shop and pre-order whatever it is I want, right? So it would be my recommendation to follow your favorite designers online, either through their newsletter or through an Instagram page or Facebook page if you're on Facebook, and if they're on Facebook. And then the other suggestion that I have is on Instagram. If you are on Instagram, what is it called? Needlework Retailer, I'm pretty sure. If I'm saying it wrong, I'm going to put it here now. They have an Instagram as well, and that is who puts on the show with Yarn Tree. So Yarn Tree is like the distributor who's putting the show together, but Needlework Retailer is the one who actually heads the show and has it all run. Like it's hard to explain, but basically if you follow them on Instagram, you can see they'll do posts, and it won't be like every single thing that's going to be released from that designer, but that might show up in your feed because of the algorithm. Back in the olden days when hashtags worked, you could follow the hashtag for Nashville Needlework Market 2025, right? You could follow that hashtag, and anyone who posts anything, shops, vendors, whatever, they would usually use that hashtag in their thing and in their posts, and then it would show up in your feed if you were following that hashtag. But now they changed that, so it made it kind of harder for people to follow a collective subject, if that makes sense. So that would be my recommendation for Nashville Needlework Market. If you are interested in knowing more, getting into the hype, I love Market. I love Market. I love Market. I love it. It's great because it's like everyone's coming together and it's a collective genius, and everyone's jazzed about it. Well, most people are jazzed. So, that's all I have to say about that subject. The next question I had was about the Black Needle Society Downton Abbey piece, the box that I got that I talked about in a previous video. It's called I Am a Custodian. And I have not started mine yet because I was in Arizona when the retreat happened, and I just was not in a headspace to start something along this lines. I wasn't going to be part of the retreat at all, like online, like it's a virtual retreat. But the question that I had, one moment. Okay, so I haven't started it because, like I said, I was in a place where it just wasn't on my radar to start. I wasn't feeling like starting something new. I was trying to focus on a whip to get it completed. Also, if you hear a dog, it's my dog. Yeah. So what this stitch, as Katie Landis, who's the owner behind Black Needle Society, she also designed the pattern. She said that this is going to be a 4-part stitch. So the first box had this part, and it was years 1 and 2, like, or seasons 1 and 2 of Downton Abbey. Then the next box is going to be 3 and 4, third box 5 and 6, and then I am assuming that the last box will be the 2 movies. So what she had explained when she was talking about her inspiration for the design of this stitch was that, like, a Rhode Island sampler. If you're not aware of what a Rhode Island sampler is, I have some examples for you. That's why I paused for a second to go grab them. So like Plum Street samplers. This is an example of a Rhode Island sampler, where this one too here, a New World sampler. So it usually will have like a center motif, and then there will be like detailed picture story happening around the outside border. So that's usually what that is. And if you look at this one here, you can kind of see that this bell here is like the beginning of the border part. So that's what she had said, was that this stitch in the end will be like a Rhode Island inspired sampler. So like the style. So that's that question. I also had a comment from someone where they were talking about wool applique, and they thought that it would be so hard and intimidating. And one piece of advice that I would like to share with people that I tend to use when I'm talking to people who I am teaching to, or just in general, like friends who ask me, and people like you who are watching my videos. If it's something that is inspiring to you and it's something you've always wanted to try, do it. Because what's the worst that could happen? I mean, because we're not talking about something that's like rocket science or life and death. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a craft. It's an art form that is meant to be fun, right? Now, I understand that learning something new is very intimidating, especially when you're dealing with wool, because wool is very expensive. It is more expensive than quilting, which quilting can be very expensive. Cross stitch can be very expensive depending on what it is that you are kitting up and how big the project is, of course, right? Like if you're using silks and over dyed fabrics, or if it's a chatelaine that uses skeins and skeins and beads, right? So I understand like how stuff like that can be intimidating to people who have never done it. Because I remember feeling that way. And when I first learned about wool applique, I was like, wow, that's really pretty. Like, I just wasn't in the headspace to even try it. Then in 2021, early 2021, I was like, I really want to do this. And I had been following Lisa Bonjean from Primitive Gatherings for a while, and she's inspiring as heck. And one of her biggest things, like her call to fame, was using wool on other mediums, like appliquing wool onto like flannel or cotton. So that just wasn't done before. Like, she broke the rules. I don't believe in rules in quilting and crafting and stuff. Like, I think that there's a few rules that you kind of have to follow just so that it looks okay. But like, when you're dealing with applique, there are just things that make things easier. The rest of it is just details. You know what I mean? So I actually decided I was going to pick up a small kit to try. And this is that pillow. My whole entire adult life that I had ever tried to do French knots, I could not do them. I had the worst time doing them. And then I found out about the colonial knot from Lisa Bonjean. And it's same but different. And she showed very clear instructions how to do them. And I did them on this. And I can't even begin to tell you how excited I was. I learned how to do a stem stitch. I learned how to do a blanket stitch, like, correctly. Because I just would fake it before, you know, like, I think this is right. Like, you know what I mean? And like how to do, I think this is like a feather stitch, you know, like, so, now this is wool applique on a wool background, but I just have to say that my advice to you, if you are someone who's interested in trying something, look on YouTube for like tutorials on how to do something. Or if you are part of like a Stitchy group, most stitchers, they craft other things, or they know somebody that knows about that craft and could probably point you in the correct direction. My advice would be to just do it and just try it, and try with something small, something. Now, this is small, and the amount of actual applique is not a lot, you know, like it's literally, it's literally this right here and these little like flower petals. But she shows you how to do it. She explains how to stitch it down. Lisa Bonjean did. That's how I taught myself how to fix all this stuff, how to transfer, what interfacing to use, if you're going to use pins, what pins to use, all that kind of stuff. So my advice would be to just try the thing. And if you mess up, it's fine. Like, I think sometimes we expect ourselves as adults the first time we try something to just be good at it. And I think that that's completely ridiculous, because like when we were kids, or when we are teaching our children things and they mess up because they've never done it before and they're learning how to do it, we're not like, oh, you should totally just know how to do that, right? Like, we're like, oh, it's okay, bud. Like, let's try this again, you know? We try and have that positive reinforcement to try again. And I think that as a community and as adults in general, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be, you know, like crafting. It could be learning a software program. It could be like whatever. If you mess up, it's okay. You're allowed to mess up. Like, you know? So just do the thing. And if you need somebody to like share with, you know, reach out to me on Instagram. My Instagrams are below. I have two, ShareBear0607 and Stargrown at Stitchery, and I'll put them on the screen too, so that you can see. And just follow me on there, and you can always private message me. And you know, if I don't respond right away, it's probably because I'm dealing with kids or a dog, but I will. And yeah, so do the thing, right? Okay, so that's all the things I have for questions. Now I think we'll do whips. Yes, let's do whips, right? No, previous finishes. Okay, previous finishes. Now for some stitching. We're 20 minutes in. Sorry, guys. Okay, so previous finish. So this previous finish is Honey of a Frill by Heart and Hand. And I finished this on a Paisleys and Polka Dots finishing thing. It comes as unfinished wood, and I finished it, like I painted it myself. And I use 36 count winter mint fabric with called for threads and Lady Dot Create Chenille. I don't remember the color. I stitched this twice because last year for a retreat, I used it as a small and I finished it a little bit differently. One change I did make was in the sunflower. The sunflower, it called for you to do something that I didn't want to do, so I didn't. Instead, I did colonial knots and beads. And I just preferred that better. So, but yeah, so that is Honey of a Frill. And because I finally decorated my house for patriotic in summer. So these came out of their storage place. So the next one, which, you know, I just did that video about patriotic stitches and stuff. Like I probably should have got out some like patriotic finishes too, but yeah, oh well, now I am now. So this is how I finished my Our Trust out of the Broad Stripes and Bright Stars book by Teresa Kogut. It is finished on a Paisleys and Polka Dots sheep finishing thing. I think the one on her website, it has an Erin Elizabeth piece on it. And I used some homespun and some lace. I did the crackling technique, not using crackle. I'm hoping to have a finish this year where I will need to make a crackle for the background or the backing board or whatever. So I can do a tutorial on how I do that, because it is not using crackle, because that stuff sucks and it doesn't work. And maybe it's user error, but I tried it 3 times following instructions off the internet, and I tried it all the ways, right? And it still didn't work. So I tried a different way and it worked amazing. So, yeah, so here is Our Trust, and this is on Aztec Red by Weeks Dye Works, 36 count linen, called for threads, which I think was just like DMC and Weeks and Classic Colorworks. I don't remember. I still have this like ring with all the colors. I still have that in my stash. So if I want to do anything else out of that book, because they all use the same colors. So that is Our Trust. I love this so much. It's so pretty. I love it. Yeah. I was so happy when it came out, like how I wanted it to. Because I was afraid it was going to turn out terrible, and I had like a vision, and the vision worked, and I was so happy. Okay, so this is from 2020. This is a tiny modernist chart. I don't remember the name of the chart, but I think it's Happy 4th of July or July 4th or something like that. And this piece was a piece that I stitched with my sister when I taught her how to stitch during the pandemic in 2020. She was bored. She wanted to learn how to do cross stitch because she saw me doing it. So I literally FaceTimed her and sent her videos of me doing things so she could see how to do it. And then I kitted this up for her and sent it to her. And like I tea-dyed some Aida. I think this is 14 count. Because I wanted it to be very simple. I also used DMC and not over-dyed threads. You can still see my hoop mark. That's awesome. Yeah, I did like a pin job on this. And then I used like, you know, covered buttons, and so this is a really cute little stitch. It's a great small, but because it's on 14 count, it's big. So this comes out every 4th of July. It comes out pretty much May until September 1st, and then Halloween comes out. I like to enjoy my Halloween stuff for 2 months. Yes. Okay, now let's do whips. Okay, so oh my goodness. Okay, so there is a local quilt shop near me. So I have finishes, but I'm going to kind of talk about them as part of my whips because it's all mixed together on this table. So sorry. It's a block, but this is a block of the month that started this month in May. And it's, I think, a 12-month block of the month. It's through a quilt shop called JK Quilts. And it is a block of the month called Blessed Bee. And it's a wool applique on like an Essex linen background. And I think it's either 10 months or 12 months. I can't remember right now. But this is the first block that they gave us because it's more simplistic for the people who have never done wool applique. And this was very easy for me to complete. I traced all my stuff onto the interfacing and all that business. I did all that. I did all the things I needed to do to get it ready for stitching within an hour. Because I have experience now. Sorry, I just shook the table after doing my pillow. So I have a lot more experience now on how to do wool. So, and I really like wool and applique in general. Okay, so this is where I am so far. It's wrinkled because I'm stitching. I do all of my applique in hand. I don't put it in like a hoop or a Q-snap or any of that kind of stuff. I don't like to do that. I do all of this in hand. So last night, yesterday, before we went to Stitch Day for that Bella Rose Needleworks puts on, I had this part done, or this part done. I don't know. It wasn't a lot in terms of stitching. I just did a blanket stitch around. And then I finished all the blanket stitch on this and the bee, and I added this part because it's not included that I can see. Oh no, they do have it on there. I don't know. I didn't go to the class, so I had baseball, so I couldn't go to the class. But then I started working on the leaves. So I'm going up this vine. And then after I get all the blanket stitches in, that is what I use to secure my wool down to the background fabric. And then I'll do any like extra stitches. So like the bee scap has like lines and stuff, and it says to use a running stitch, but that's boring. So I'm going to use like a stem stitch probably. And then there's vines, you know, for the leaves. So I'll add those too. And then this will be finished for the month. Yeah, super fun. So that's that whip. And trying, oh, and then this is the wool pack. The Valdani threads. And then my Primitive Gathering scissors that I use for wool that I finally just purchased. And I have this, I kept this secret because I gave my friend one for her birthday. We have matching scissors and a matching bob. So it has a bee. And this was from Cricklewood Crossing. It's like the patriotic one that I have on another pair of scissors somewhere. I think they're over there, and that applique over there. Also using pearl cotton. So these are the pearl cottons, and they are different weights. It's like 12 and 8 weight. There's no 5 in here. But yeah, so those are the colors used. So that is that whip. I am really enjoying this so far. It's going to be so pretty when it's done. I can't wait to like quilt it because it's going to just be super fun. Like, I don't know if they have any more spots available in there because it literally just started. It just shipped. So like the first month. So I think they still have spots on their website, jkquilts.com. And the thread pack is separate, so you'd have to ask for that. I don't know if it's on their website or not, because it wasn't originally. So, but you could always email them or call them, whatever. And if you decide to sign up, you can let them know that I sent you over there. Not that I get a commission or anything, but just to tell them that I sent you. Okay, so in the last couple videos, I have been showing you Virgo. Now, look at my pattern. This is what happens when your dog steps on your cross stitch bag. It's nice and bent and terrible, but it's okay. So this is Virgo by Nora Corbett. And you guys, I finished it. And then I started Blessed Beat. So this is what it's going to look like in the frame. This is all. So my changes is I took out the zodiac sign for Virgo and the word Virgo. This is going to my niece who's graduating early next month. And she loves pink. And she's very girly. And to me, that is what this stitch is like. And when she was here visiting, she saw this stitch and she said that it was really pretty and she really liked it. So I'm like, well, that means that I have to stitch it for you. Yeah, so I don't have it. I have it laced. And this frame was actually from Hobby Lobby. It was in the home decor section. It's number 2438059. And it had like a lady's face, like a drawing of a lady's face on the board. And then I took it out, like I took the staples out. And then I put a layer of batting and then I laced it. And I had to finagle it to get it so it was pretty straight in there. It's not perfect, but it'll do. She'll be happy with it. I'm happy with it. And this was so fun to stitch. I love the Krennic. It's so sparkly. This does not do it justice. Like, pictures do not do Mirabilia's justice. I love it though. Look how pretty it is. This is on 32 count Murano, which is like an even weave by Zweigart that I overdyed myself, and it's blown out, but there is blues, or no, pinks and like sagey greens, very light and faint all over the fabric. And I don't know if you can see it or not. I don't know if it's showing up, but even when I take a picture, you can't really see it without, like, if I adjust it, you know, like, it doesn't show. It makes the rest of this look weird, but in person you can see it. So yeah, so that's gonna be her graduation present. So that is Virgo, and that is a finish and an almost FFO. Let's see. The last time I had an actual floss tube, I was working on With a Needle and Thread April wordplay, and I have since finished it. So this is the pattern. So that's what it looks like hanging up. And this is the pattern. I am going to take a break from stitching these. I stitched January, March, and April. February I had already finished, but I'm going to take a break on these and start back up in September, like in the summertime, because I want to focus on some other things for a little while. And plus I have this wool applique that I'm doing. So that's the piece there. But this is my, it is not wrinkled. It was wrinkled, and then everything fell. So it got messed up again. But this is using called for. It is like super blowing out like weird. The lighting it's super sunny today. So like, it's almost better when it's overcast because it's not such harsh lights. But I stitched mine on 36 count linen in the color Winter Mint by Atomic Ranch, using called for colors unless I didn't have the color for whatever reason. And I am keeping all of those threads together on a ring as well to like reuse. So that is April Wordplay by With a Needle and Thread. So that's a finish, so yay. And let's see, I I have a whip and a start. Oh, bad floss tuber. I did not take off the chart. Okay, so in this Stitchy bag by Bella Rose Needleworks. I love this. It's like a Lori Holt zippy bag. So I have a long-standing whip that is my last stitch on Monaco. And it is, sorry, that was loud. Queen Bee Flower Farm by Hands On Design. And the artwork is done by Priscilla Blaine of Stitching with the Housewives. Freaking love this chart. It's so pretty. I don't want to stitch them all. Just not on Monaco. I'll just do it on linen next time. So what did I do? Well, I finished all the fence posts. I finished all the grass right here. I finished the flowers in the grass. I finished the garland on the fence post. I was able to do that at baseball. And then it started to rain. So I had to very quickly put it away because I didn't want any of my threads getting weird. But that's where I am. This is now my focus piece. I will be working on this until it is finished because I do not want it as a whip anymore. Now, does that mean I'm gonna just not start things? No, I will just start things and I will maybe take a break and work on something else. But for the most part, this is going to be my focus. Kind of like how Virgo was my focus. And before that, Jesus the True Vine, which is at the Framers, was a focus. So I'm trying to just get this complete so it's no longer a whip so that I don't feel guilty about having an empty finishing board that I bought way back when this was started. And yeah, so anyways, that is the story with that. You guys have all heard it before. Apparently I've made it known how much I don't like Monaco. I hope that doesn't offend you. I hope that you enjoy Monaco because I don't. And that means there's more for you out there. Okay, so that is that whip. I lied. I have one more whip. It's in this box. That's why. So, we recently celebrated May the 4th be with you. All right, do you guys celebrate May the 4th be with you? I do. I love Star Wars. What's your favorite Star Wars movie? Tell me in the comments. I'd like to know. I have to get this where it's straight. I really like Rogue One, the movie Rogue One by the Star Wars. It's like a offshoot movie that takes place before A New Hope in the timeline of events. I really like that movie. You know how it's going to end, but I just like how they got there. Okay, so this is called Stormtrooper. I don't even know if it actually has a name. That's just what I'm calling it. So this is what it looks like. It is by this person, and it was off of Etsy. I don't know if they still exist. I have not looked. Where all of the white stitches are, that will be a white glow-in-the-dark Krennic thread. And the last time when I picked this up, I had literally 10 stitches right in the center. And then I did all of this on May the 3rd and May the 4th at baseball. And this is stitched on 10 count vintage cloth by Lori Holt in the color black or charcoal or whatever she calls it. I think it's called black. And I am stitching with 4 strands of floss. You can tell I had to stop in the middle of a stitch. Right there. There's still a thread in there. Yep. I was at baseball, so that's what happened there. But yeah, so this is fun. This is for my middle son. He loves Star Wars. We all love Star Wars. My oldest son, for a little while there, he was resistant and wasn't really interested in Star Wars. He didn't care too much about it. And now he's starting to like understand the story more. And on the 27th of April, we went and watched episode 3 in the theater because it was the 20th anniversary of that movie. Is that right? Something. And so we went on 25th anniversary of that movie. And it was so fun to go see that movie. We all had on Star Wars shirts, and yeah, I really like that movie. It's so sad how that movie is, but it's the course that has to happen, you know what I mean? So that is that whip. Now, the next one is a new start that I started yesterday with my fellowship group. This year is the anniversary of Jane Austen's birthday, 250th anniversary. And so I'm going to be working on actually a quilt that comes out next month. I think the sew along starts in August or July. I don't remember. But it's, I'll put a picture up of the quilt. It's so pretty. But I also wanted to do a cross stitch with my friends. And, oh, I better take this off because it has a bad word on it. So classy. You know, let's pair some bad words with Jane Austen. That's totally legit. Anyways, so I decided to start a stitch that I have liked for a long time. This is in my bag by Bella Rose Needleworks. Got this for my birthday from Jeanette, because Jeanette and Bella Rose Needleworks is the same person. But I am working on A Gentleman's Daughter by Plum Street Samplers. And the called for fabric is Nantucket Brew, which right now I cannot find. And I didn't care to try and find it where I'd have to like get it from Canada or someplace. So I just decided to use Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit in 36 count. And that is my start yesterday. It's right in the center of the house. It's oh yeah, it's a start, you know. So that's how far I got at Stitch Day yesterday, because let's be honest, when you go to Stitch Day, it's a lot of talking and not a lot of stitching. But I did get some stitches in, which is a Christmas miracle, that by itself, you know what I mean? So so we have A Gentleman's Daughter by Plum Street Samplers as a start, and now whip. And I am so pleased. I got the pattern and floss from my friend Laura for my birthday. So this whole thing just means a lot because it's from friends, you know. And I just like that a lot, you know. It's all feel goodsies. Feel goodsies, you guys. Okay. So that's all of my whips and finishes, I think. And if not, then I messed up and I'll have to share it next time. Let's do a little bit of a tangent. So, my friend Nina, my best friend, she found this fox mug that is Harry Potter Ray Dunn. On that shelf up there, I have the Hedwig version of this mug that she gave me. And so I have the fox one now. And then also while she was out, because she's a Ray Dunn hunter and she's very good at finding them. So this was a two-part, like a twofer. So it had a Harry sweater one and then a Ron sweater one, and they were together as one package. And so I chose the Ron one, and it says Best Mates. And it says Best Mates on the Harry Potter one too, like on the H with it's a blue sweater with an H. And she found hers at Home Goods. So if you're a Rae Dunn hunter, that's where she found hers, was at Home Goods. So that is that was some kindness that I got. I got a lot of kindness this like yesterday, because it's the first time I had seen my friends since like February, because, you know, I was gone and stuff. And so it was really nice to see everybody. And my friend Megan gave me that little stained glass sunflower doodad, like decoration, to tell me how much she appreciates me, and that was really sweet. And then I got some Stitchy kindness also for Megan. She gave me this skein of brandied pears, which is for the border that goes around the Fragments of Time Halloween edition for this year that Beth from Summer House Stitchworks is doing. The other two patterns should be released this month, but it's basically the end of the month. It's Sunday, May 25th. So I don't know. But anyways, so thanks, Megan. So she's been holding on to that for a while. My friend Laura gave me a fat quarter of, she started something on it, but realized that she didn't want to stitch on the count. She likes the color, but not the count. This is 36 count Saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. So she gave me a fat quarter. So I have another fat quarter. I just need to rip out those stitches. And it's totally different than my other Saltbush. Like, what the heck? I wonder if this is actually prehistoric and it was mislabeled. That's crazy, because these are both 36 count. Huh. Do you guys have that problem with Saltbush, where they're like drastically different from each other? Like, I get it, like they're hand dyed and all that, but like, that's very different colors. Like, this is cool and this one's warm. I'm gonna have to do some more investigating. That's very interesting. But anyways, I have it now. My friend Michelle, she gifted me this bag that was made by Bella Rose Needleworks. Isn't this so pretty? And it has a cute like flag charm. I think Jeanette has these on her website. I'm not positive if they're up yet, but I'm pretty sure they are. It's pretty like flowery, looks kind of like a firework daisy inside. So that was a gift from my friend Michelle. So Stitchy kindness. Now we're going to talk about haul, if that's okay. And then we'll talk about books. I don't really want to do plans because if I say my plan, I never actually do it. But loose plans are going to be working on my Blessed Bee applique and working on Queen Bee Flower Farm. It's going to be all about the bees for the next little bit. So let's do some haul. Oh, I do have this club that I do through Bella Rose Needleworks. It's the Belle Soie of the Month Club. I feel like I have more stuff in here and I'm missing things. Yeah, I am not crazy. I do have plans. I lied. Oh yeah, I'm super with it. I'm with the program, guys. I swear. Okay, so it kind of goes into like haul 2 though, so we're gonna just roll with it. So I got the summer edition of Just Cross Stitch magazine. I am deciding. Oh, these are really cute. I just noticed these. look at those Debbie Mum kits. Aren't they cute? I like that. You know, I like the witch hat without the spider, but I know somebody who would like that. So yeah, so this has the second part of that sprouting lupine stitch, and it also has this super cute one by October Fiber House that's patriotic. It's like one of those skinny pillow things. And there's the next part of the sprouting lupine, Nature's Journey. So the first part was this part, which is spring, and now this is the summer. I don't know if I'll ever stitch these, but I think they're just, it's so pretty and botanical, and I just think it's pretty. So I'm getting all of these this year just to make sure I have the whole set. I am sure she will eventually release the entire pattern, but I have to be difficult in collecting, right? So this is that one there. I also purchased this bag from Starry Owl Stitchery. It's a little small bag. I love the fabric. It's so cute. And in here is a plan. I even have it has like, look at that. Isn't that cute? Like the, what do you call it? Firework. In here I have a stitch. I have Liberty Pennies by Hands On Design with the kit and everything, and I have it ready to go. I just have to start stitching, like put in a snap and stitch. It's ready because I have my fabric in here. I have all of my floss prepped. Like whenever I'm kitting, part of my kitting process is to put everything on a ring and to put a hole. So I put a hole up here because on Weeks Dye Works there's no hole there. So I put a hole here and a hole down here for my extra thread. Because, you know, 36 count, whatever, 28, you're only using 2 strands usually. So you have extra left over from the 6. So this bag was part of my haul. And this is a plan that's going to be started soonish. Like soonish. My next plan is this Betsy's House. So much glare. By Plum Street Samplers. This is also a start because I decided to UFO a pattern for complicated reasons that I don't need to get into. But basically I'm UFOing a UFO heritage sampler by Plum Street Samplers. Not because I don't like the pattern, but because I just don't want to stitch it right now and I don't want it in my whip pile. And I actually gifted the entire kit, including the pattern, to a friend. So that's just what I decided to do. So the reason why I remembered I had more haul is because I also have the April Belle Soie colors as well to show you. Now, from what I understand from Classic Colorworks, that they're telling shops is that they're having issues with their silk dyer or silk supplier. So June is going to be delayed. June and July is going to be delayed, which sucks, but oh well, I'll still get them like later. So this is the April colors. It's Sun-Drenched Violets, Cobblestone, and Petunia. So pretty. So that is the April colors. And this is a great stash builder. It's like $20 a month for you to add some silk skeins that you can swap. And then May. So this is how it comes from Classic Colorworks. And then May's colors are so pretty. I love them. So we have Lemonade, Pickle Relish, and with Foo Foo Flamingo. I love it. It's so cute. I love that color. It's so pretty. Look. So those are the May colors for the Balsois. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. Imagine being able to just use these on something because they're in your stash and you can just pull. Okay, so also from Jeanette, I ordered 2 of the Blood Orange lotion bars by Stacey Nash. You guys, they smell divine. And it's shaped like an orange slice. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. And I got 2 of them. That's why I got 2. I need to get another lavender one because that's my favorite. My youngest son loves the pear one that I got. What else is in this package? Oh yeah. A fat quarter of saltbush that I had ordered before I was gifted the other piece of saltbush. So, so that is 36 count saltbush by Fox and Rabbit. And then I also got these super cute little charms, the whip charms by Primrose Cottage. So it's a cute little zipper pull that you just add. It's so cute. Because we know I got the whips, y'all. And I'm pretty sure Jeanette still has these. And so they'd probably be on her website if she still has them. We just had Stitch Day yesterday. So I know that she sold out of some stuff. But yeah. I also got this new pattern from Primrose Cottage. I purchased it at Bella Rose Needleworks. I know she is sold out, but she will get more. Isn't it cute? American U. And there's also a matching needle minder that I didn't buy yesterday, like a ding dong. I don't know what I was thinking. So cute. So cute. And it's a small. It's 45 by 56. It's wee. And it says, yeah, it says, you can barely see it on the side, but it says USA in backstitch right there. So cute, you guys. Look at the finish. It's Dorbs. I love it. American U. And for Frogwarts coming up, the called for color fabric is Jalapeno by Fiber on a Whim. So I got 36 count. And I got a fat 1/8. I got a fat quarter and I split it with my friend Laura because she is also doing Frogwarts. But look at that color. It's going to be so epic. This year is year 6, so Half-Blood Prince. So I made a tag with Snape on it. Okay. Oh. So in a previous video, I had talked about, I did like a Flosstube extra where I did a Sunrise on the Reaping unboxing. And when I placed that order for that kit, I also ordered the 2 other patterns that were from the original trilogy and Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. But also Forbidden Fiber Co. also has this super cute bag. And it comes with a zipper charm and everything. May the odds be ever in your favor. And it's pink. Like Effie. I love Effie. I was like, they need to make a book for her. They need to make a book for her. And a Finnick book would be cray-cray. I mean, I can't even. But I got this bag for my other 2 patterns that aren't part of that kit. And then I also got some of the colors that I'm missing. And I'm hoping that they will be released. The other ones I need will be released because I'm missing like 2 colors still. And I need them to stitch the other patterns or it's going to look funny. Like they can't be repeated from something else. Like they can't be swapped. So I hope. I know that Leanne was telling me that she's needing to get a different dye because the original dye was discontinued or there was an issue with it or something like that. Dyeing is hard, you know, like I feel bad for fabric dyers. Okay, so yesterday at Stitch Day, I got this really pretty bag, Bella Rose Needleworks bag. These do fit an 11 by 11 Q-snap. Like you stick it in and then you fold the flap, you put the flap over, and but they do fit in there. I was her guinea pig. And then it has a Lori Holt Happy Charm on it. So these bags are a little more expensive than the ones that just have like a small little charm with like a fabric tag, because it has the Happy Charm. But look at this bag, you guys. You guys! So she tells us what the name of the fabric line is yesterday. So we, of course, you know, go on the Google and like look it up. And there's one with Barnes. And so we were like, can you please buy some more of that and make a bag with the Barnes? Because we need that yesterday. So this is the other bag I got to go with another patriotic stitch that I want to start eventually. I don't know which one it is yet, but it's going to go in a bag like this. And the other one that I got too, for my friend. So now the last I have for haul before we get to books is some quilty haul. So I have a friend from baseball who is pregnant with a little girl, and she is very excited. And I decided I was going to make her a baby quilt, because why not? I know how to do that. And it gave me an excuse to go find fabric that it's not necessarily something I would pick for myself, but I think she will love this. So it's Sunday Brunch by Basic Gray. It's a pretty new line. It just came out. And so I'm going to make a charm. I got a charm pack. This will be a border fabric, a background fabric if I decide to use it, which this is just like a grunge, Moda grunge. And then stripes for the binding, because she doesn't like a lot of pink. So I think a lot, like her wish list on like for her baby registry was a lot of like more neutrally things that's girly but not pink. So I thought this was pretty good for not being just like a pink line, you know what I mean? So I got this for her, so I got to make that. Maybe I'll start that today. And then for myself, because why not? Summertime by Camille Ross Kelly. So she used to have lines with her mom, Bonnie and Camille, and she went off on her own because her mom retired. I'm pretty sure she lives in Idaho somewhere, or she's from Idaho, something like that. But it's like all the colors. And my plan for this is to make a Moda Love like I did for the K Facet one that I did for a friend, a family friend, previous video. I'm going to make one of those, but out of this for myself. But I'm going to add a border to mine, and this will be the border. And the good thing about Camille things and Bonnie and Camille is, especially with this color palette, is this is like old Bonnie and Camille color palette. I could pull stuff from my stash that I have that's Bonnie and Camille and make a binding with it. So I only needed to buy this and this. My dog's snoring. Where is she? I heard her snoring. Where is she? She must be over there. Anyways, so I got this for myself. I hope to start that soon. I also realized that I have only one true patriotic quilt that is made, and that's a problem. So I might be focusing on that situation soon to fix that, because that's kind of lame. I have more cross stitch finishes that are patriotic than I do quilts. So, and I have a whole wall and a ladder that's full of quilts, and I'm having to make it look cute and supplement things. It's sad. What am I thinking, guys? What am I thinking? So, okay, I think that's all except for books. So if you are not interested in hearing about books, cool. I'll see you next time. And if you stuck around this long, I really appreciate it. And please feel free to let me know what you're stitching in the comments. And if you have any questions or anything about what I talked about, like, put it in the comments and I will respond. But now we're going to talk about books. Okay, so last time I had a video, I had just started 1984 by George Orwell. So I didn't want to finish this book because I kind of knew how it was going to end. And I didn't like how it was, and I was right how it ended. And it made me sad. And so how it ended was sad. So it's one of those books that's a critical thinking book. It requires you to pay attention to all of the things. So if you are not that type of a reader where you have to like pay attention really to the actual inner workings and remember, this book might not be for you. However, I recommend that people still read it. I did not understand that this edition, the official, whatever, authorized edition, has been edited. So same thing with my Agatha Christie book. So I'm actually going to get rid of this edition and I'm going to find an older edition. Because I don't mind having old books. So it's what the author intended us to read, because I think editing books for modern sake of things is stupid, because it's what this is. It's what this does. If you read this, if you've read this book, that's what editing books for the sake of editing it for modern things is. That's the whole point of this book. So anyways, it's a real interesting thing. I mean, this book was written in 1949. I believe that's the year it was published. But yeah, 1949. So this was meant to be like a science fiction, dystopian novel, fiction. And there's a lot of things that have come to pass in this book that have become reality or near reality, or a version of what he's talked about in these books, in this book, has become reality in world society, which is crazy. So, yeah. So 1984. I give it 5 out of 5 stars only because I understand the point of the book. It was just hard to get through because I knew how it was going to end. You know what I mean? So 5 out of 5, but it was a difficult read. So then I decided I need something that's a little bit more happy. So I decided to switch to Emma by Jane Austen. I have never read this book. I am slowly getting through all of the Jane Austen novels. The next book I need to purchase is Lady Susan. That is a book that isn't a widely known book by her. Everyone talks about like Pride and Prejudice and Sense and Sensibility and Emma or Mansfield Park or whatever. So I need Mansfield Park, Northanger Abbey, Lady Susan, and there was one that's also like a unfinished novel. But I literally just started it, so far I like it. It's so far very Jane Austen. So I'm currently reading that. And then this was picked up for me by my best friend, Daughter of the Pirate King by Trisha Levenseller. This is a series. I'm pretty sure there's 3 in the series and they have different covers now, but I like the older covers. It's supposed to be like a romance. Yeah, so I thought this looked interesting. So this is now in my TBR. And then this has been in my Amazon cart for at least a year. But it just keeps getting pushed further and further down on my in my cart. It was published in 2018. The Spellbook of Katrina Van Tessel, A Story of Sleepy Hollow by Alyssa Palombo. This will be great. I have the actual story of Ichabod Crane. I have that book by Irving in my room. So I'm going to read that one first, and then I'm going to read this one. Because read the first one first, you know. I mean, it's not a sequel or anything like that, but they're related, you know. So that is my book stuff for right now. So at the moment, book-wise, all I'm reading is Emma. I try not to read more than one book at a time because then I get distracted and then I just stop reading a book. So, Emma, that's what I'm reading right now. So, all right, that's all I have for today. And if you have any questions about anything that I talked about, please let me know. And thank you so much for watching and commenting and subscribing and all the things. I think next video, which I don't know when that's going to be, but when I have time, that's when I film. But thank you so much, everybody, for following along. And if you stuck around this far, I appreciate you guys. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. And I'll see you later. Okay, bye.